The snow fell silently. It blanketed the northeastern forests in a cold, white embrace. It was a beauty that hid a terrible truth. Here, in the heart of winter, lived the CHENOO, a creature born of despair, a testament to the darkness that can consume a human soul. Legends whispered of its origins, of a man consumed by hatred, his heart slowly turning to ice. The forest held its breath. It had witnessed the transformation countless times. It knew the signs, the deepening scowl, the glint of malice in the eyes, the slow, inexorable hardening of the heart, until nothing remained but a shell of ice and rage. The transformation was agonizing. Skin turned grey and hardened. Muscles swelled, encased in a layer of impenetrable ice. Hair turned white as snow, brittle and sharp. Fingers twisted into claws, capable of tearing through flesh and bone. The CHENOO was a mockery of its former humanity, a grotesque giant towering over men. Its breath steamed in the frigid air, every exhalation a promise of death. The creature's heart, once a furnace of warmth, was now a block of ice. In place of love, there was only hatred, a burning, all-consuming hatred that fueled its every action. The CHENOO was no longer driven by reason or compassion. It was a slave to its rage, a puppet dancing to the strings of its own bitterness. It stalked the frozen wastes, a predator in its element. Senses honed by hatred, it could smell fear, taste despair in the air. Its intelligence, warped and sharpened by the transformation, made it a cunning hunter. It set traps, using the bitter cold as its weapon. The CHENOO was a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked within the human heart. A terrifying example of what happens when hatred is allowed to fester and grow. The CHENOO was a master of psychological warfare. It would toy with its prey, whispering their names in the dead of night, creating illusions in the swirling snow, amplifying their fear, their doubt, their guilt, until their minds snapped. The forest became a labyrinth of terror. Every shadow seemed to hold the CHENOO's icy gaze. Every gust of wind carried its chilling whisper. The very air felt heavy with malice. It preyed on their negativity, their anger, their jealousy, their resentment. These emotions resonated with the creature's own darkness, strengthening it, drawing it closer. It was a vicious cycle. The more negativity it fed on, the stronger it became. And the stronger it became, the more negativity it could generate in its prey. Yet, even in this creature of ice and rage, there were glimpses of the human it once was, a flicker of recognition in its eyes when it encountered a child, a moment of hesitation before it struck down a helpless animal. These were not acts of compassion, but echoes of a lost soul. A soul trapped within a prison of its own making. Legends spoke of ways to protect oneself from the CHENOO, not with weapons of steel or fire, but with weapons of the spirit. Kindness, empathy, forgiveness. These were the qualities that the creature could not abide. They were like sunlight to a vampire, burning away the darkness that clung to it. It was said that if one could reach the heart of the CHENOO, if one could remind it of its lost humanity, then there was a chance for redemption. But this was a dangerous game, for to look into the eyes of the CHENOO was to look into the abyss of one's own soul. The CHENOO served as a chilling reminder, a reminder of the power of our emotions, of the darkness that resides within us all. It was a lesson in the importance of controlling our anger, our hatred, our fear. For these emotions, if left unchecked, could consume us entirely. They could transform us into monsters, just as surely as they had transformed the CHENOO. The forest held its breath, waiting to see if the creature would find peace, if the ice would melt, if the heart within would thaw. The fate of the CHENOO, like the fate of all humanity, hung in the balance. A chilling reminder that the greatest battles are often fought not with weapons of war, but with the weapons of the spirit.